Hey y'all, welcome back to Movement Link. So I've got another follow along class that you can do with me here. We're gonna get warmed up together. We'll talk more specifically about the workout we're gonna be doing. We'll do the workout together and then we'll cool down together afterwards. So as long as you've got a ruck, which is just a backpack with weight in it, you can go ahead and join me. If you want information on what type of ruck I use, and what kind of weights and things you should be using, check out the description of this video or go to MovementLink.FIT and I'll give you more info there. So the workout we're going to get into today is a 15-minute AMRAP. It's going to start with 10 Ruck Snatches. After every single round we do, we're going to do 15 lateral burpees. The second round is going to be 20 Ruck Snatches. Then we're going to do 15 lateral burpees. Then it's going to be 30 Ruck Snatches, 15 lateral burpees. We're just going to keep going up by 10 with the snatches every round until we run out of time in that 15-minute time cap. The trick here is every 5 snatches, we're going to switch which hand we use. So we're going to get even reps on both sides as we go through this workout. So we're going to warm up together. We'll talk about the workout. We'll get into it and we'll cool down together. See you in the warm up. All right, y'all, let's just go ahead and start with some arm swings across our chest. I like to start this way a lot in these classes, mainly because it gives us just some time to sit there and feel our feet nice and even on the ground. So don't get too toesy, don't get on those heels. 3 points of contact, nice and solid. We can check in on our posture as we just kind of get those arms swinging around. So let's go back and up here. As we do this, make sure belly button's drawn in, butt's tight, rib cage is down. We're extending up. As our arms go back, palms will be facing back. As we go up, palms should be facing back again. Then we're going to turn these into really big ones. And as you hit those difficult ranges for you, try not to change the shape of that back. Go big ones backwards for a while here. The goal here is really to get those arms burning. So if they start burning, don't worry too much about that. And then we'll go forwards. You can start focusing on keeping that breath into the belly. Okay, we're going to rotate everything from side to side. Then we're going to hinge over. We're almost taking a right-handed golf swing, and then we're going to come back the other way with a left-handed golf swing. So we're just going to swing, getting that lower body involved with the arms. All right, and then we're just going to take a wide stance here. Squeeze those butt cheeks and let's shove your hips forward. We'll just keep rotating them back. So kind of lean back, squeeze your butt cheeks, shove your hips forward. Take your hands, one hand behind the other. As we do it, we're going to lean back with it, but really make sure your butt cheeks stay squeezed, belly button stays drawn in. And then we're going to come down. Just going to hinge over. We're going to wiggle from side to side. Feel your feet. Let's stay nice and balanced on your feet. So we don't want to get to the insides or the outsides. We don't want your toes coming up. Everything against that ground. And now let's trace some semicircles. So keep your hands as close to the ground as you can, but work them as far away from you as you can. Let's try and keep that balance on your feet, belly button drawn in. All right. So from here, we're just going to come up. We're going to take just a wide squat stance. What I want you to do is just take a wide squat. Feel weight even on your feet. We're going to come back up. Just work your feet in. We're going to do another one. So we're going to get narrower and narrower. We're going to do about 5 or 6 squats to work it in until you go with your feet touching. And then we're going to work our way back out. So just keep working it in. Just nice and slow. I'm not rushing anything. Really what I'm doing is from these different positions, giving a little pause at the bottom so I can check in on my balance, making sure I'm doing everything as best I can. What you'll notice is, especially as you move in narrower and narrower, that range of motion gets tougher and tougher. So once you do one, just go as low as you can with those feet together. We're going to work our way back out. So just a few narrow before you get back to your normal squat stance. Feel your feet. Don't rush anything here. Coming up. Then we should be getting close to that really, really wide one. Let's go ahead and try and get caught up there, going with our widest squat, and then we'll come up. As you're kind of waiting for people to finish, we'll go right back to the same thing. So squeeze your butt cheeks, shove those hips forward as we wait for people to catch up here. Okay, now draw that belly button in, and we're gonna take your left hand, touch your right toe, and then come back up. So we're keeping those legs, they don't have to be completely straight, but we do want to get that rotation, but also feel that kind of hamstring stretch. So make sure that belly button stays in. As you go to one side, make sure those toes stay down against the ground and the heel stays down against the ground. When we return up, butt cheeks are squeezed. So we just kind of go back and forth here. Okay, now we're gonna take a partial wide squat, and then let's just act like we're in two dimensions, and let's just go kind of as high up as you can and over to the side. Breathe, you should feel a big side stretch here. Breathe into that side. And we'll go to the other side. Big side stretch. Feel your feet nice and even on the ground. All right, so in that wide stance, sorry, I'm moving around so you can see me a little bit better. In that wide stance, we're gonna go back down. Now we're gonna walk our hands out to a push-up plank position, but with that wide stance. We're gonna do 3 push-ups. You can still drop to your knees in this wide stance if you need. Once you've got 3 push-ups, we're gonna push into down dog with that wide stance. Then we're gonna inchworm our way back in. And move your feet in just a little bit. We're gonna come back out into another push-up position. We're gonna do 3 more push-ups. Then push into that kind of wider down dog. You can pedal your feet back around. Just move your feet in. Now let's bring your feet into what would be your squat position. And then let's inchworm our way back out. 3 more push-ups. After that third, push into down dog. And then we can pedal your feet around. You can change your stance to whatever feels comfortable here. You're gonna pedal those feet around. Really push yourself down and through with your hands. Feel your full hand on the ground, twisting in just like you would a push-up. Then we're gonna take our right foot, go next to our right hand. We're gonna drop the back knee to the ground, squeeze that back butt cheek, shove your hips down. And we're gonna go as far to the right as you can go. We're gonna go as far to the left as you can go with your hips. Keeping the belly button drawn in, keeping that trailing butt cheek flexed, wiggling around here. Now what I want you to do is you can pull that foot back or you can just lean into it. Trying to keep that full front foot on the ground. Lean in. We're just gonna get reps trying to push your knee as far to the ground as you can without the ankle collapsing and without the heel coming up. We're just gonna get some reps here. As you go, make sure that trailing butt cheek is flexed so we're still getting some hip work in there. And then let's go to the other side. So left foot next to the left hand. Drop that back knee to the ground. We're gonna start by rotating as far to each side as you can go. Check in, belly button should be drawn in. Trailing butt cheek should be flexed. As you hit end ranges that are tough for you, just try and breathe. Okay, let's lean into that front foot. And just think about getting reps. You're just trying to feel the full foot stay planted. You're just trying to use that ankle to its max range without forcing anything. Good to also note what feels tight. When you do this, if you feel like you're getting pinched in the front, maybe a band joint distraction. I've got videos on these things on MovementLink.FIT, but maybe a band joint distraction will be a good thing. If like Achilles or calf, if you feel different muscles stretching, then hitting those with some mobility work will be good. Okay, so since we're down on the ground, let's go ahead and get on all fours, screw your hands to the floor. Let's just move those shoulder blades around. So notice I'm not doing a cat-cow. I'm just keeping that back as neutral as I can. and letting my shoulder blades move around. Now when I drop my chest down, I'm going to shrug my shoulders up and push away. And I can also drop them down and then pull my shoulders down my back. Just trying to get some good shoulder blade movement in here. Let's go ahead and turn your hands around and lean back. So let's get into those forearms a little bit. You can lean back and go onto the fingers. But as you do this, try not to do anything goofy with those shoulders. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do 5 burpees. And we're gonna kind of work our way into a burpee progression where we can work on what we're gonna do with our arms. So what we're gonna do, since we're on the ground, let's go ahead and start completely on the ground. Check in on position. So butt cheeks squeezed, belly button drawn in, screwing your shoulders in the ground through those hands so your elbows are nice and tucked. We're gonna get into an arch position here, knees on the ground, and we're just gonna throw our butt up in the air, let our feet go with it. So we'll do that a couple times. Just throw your butt up, let your feet go with it. Okay, now on the next one, what I want you to do is just do the same thing. We're just gonna land in a jumping position. So throw that butt up, and then bring your feet here. Okay, let's do that a few times here. So arch, snap, feet into a jumping position, back, arch, snap, feet into a jumping position. The important thing to realize here is that when I land, I'm really bent over here, okay? So this is gonna be important in the lateral burpee because when we're moving into this position, we're here. And so if I'm gonna use my arms to jump, then I've gotta do a big old arm swing. But since we're here and our arms are already done, down, we can jam our elbows up and we can get a little pop. So let's try this for a second. Let's just bend over. Okay, from this position with your hands down, all I want you to do is jump, but use your elbows driving up to generate more power. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do 4 lateral burpees. When you come up, I want you jamming your elbows up to generate power. So arch, snap, jam your elbows up. We're not gonna have to do a ton of jumping on this one because the ruck is gonna be pretty low, but we are gonna need to jump. And just like if we're gonna jump as high as I could, if I jump without using my arms, I'm missing out on a ton of power. So even though these are small jumps, the more I can get those elbows involved is gonna be super, super helpful. All right, so for a little workout prep here, we're gonna do 3 rounds of 3 reps of 3 snatches on each arm, 3 lateral burpees. So let's go ahead and chip away at that. What I like to do is just try and make the first couple rounds, or the first round look good, and then the next couple rounds I try and act like it's a WOD. That way it gives me a good sense of what this stuff is gonna feel like. I'll join you here in a second. Good thing about doing these practice reps is it helps you with spacing and figure out where you're actually going to be able to do things in your living room here. Okay, so we know what the workout is. We know how much time it's going to take. It's going to take 15 minutes. So the first thing we need to do to strategize is just understand that 15 minutes is a long time. This isn't going to be a complete sprint, but really on this one, there's not a lot of strategy just because the snatches kind of pace themselves. You'll know if you have to take a break, but really the goal today is going to be don't take a break. Every 5, we're going to be switching hands. So once you kind of get rolling on a set of 5, know that we'll have a little bit of time where we have to put it down a little bit to readjust our grip to go to the other side. So we're going to kind of have built-in breaks here. So what I'm kind of looking at for this is I'm going to try and go unbroken on everything the whole time. And for 15 minutes with burpees and snatches, I'm not going to be able personally to go at a blistering pace. So what I'm going to try and do is just be nice and consistent. If I need to, I'm going to take a hair of a breath in between switching hands when I'm switching every 5, and I'm just going to try and be consistent here. The other tip is there's 2 different ways that we can do snatches with a ruck or with a dumbbell or a kettlebell, and there's the muscle snatch and there's the power snatch. So the muscle snatch, let's grab it here. So the muscle snatch is I'm going to jump the ruck up and then stay up as I pull it up. The power snatch is I'm going to jump it up, squat to get it, and then stand up. So why would I choose one over the other? The muscle snatch is faster. The power snatch uses less energy because I don't have to be as explosive. So what I personally do is I like to muscle snatch when it's feeling good. And then if my heart rate gets too high, that's when I start to power snatch, because for me it's really easy to bring my heart rate back down and just stay consistent because I don't have to have a big jump up because it just doesn't have to go as high because I'm going to go get it. So what I recommend you to do here in this workout is play around with both of them. Start whichever way you're more comfortable with, and then in the middle of the workout, play around with how does the other style feel. You'll probably see me do that. I don't know what style I'm going to land on. I'm probably going to be doing power snatches and not muscle snatches. And what I do know is when I do a workout similar to this with a dumbbell, which is pretty typical in CrossFit gyms, is I tend to start with muscle snatches and then move to power snatches only if I need to control my heart rate. So I think I'm going to kind of do the opposite here. Is I think I'm going to start with power snatches and see how it goes. Maybe throw some muscle snatches in there. Anyway, we've got 15 minutes. It's going to be just kind of a chip away at a workout. The round of 10 is going to go obviously real fast. And then I think immediately on the 15 lateral burpees, we're going to realize how many burpees 15 really is. So that's going to be the first kind of moment where it's going to be a little bit of a gut check. The round of 20 snatches, I think, is going to show us that, like, oh man, looking ahead to the round of 40 and 50, it's like this is going to be a lot of reps. So what you got to do is just keep it simple in your head. For me, I'm going to just try and get 5 snatches in, then I'm going to worry about the next 5, and same with the burpees. I'm going to try and get 5 burpees in. Even though I'm going to go unbroken, I'm just going to try and get the next 5, next 5, next 5. So I'm going to try and keep blinders on and go 5 reps at a time. All right, let's get your ruck near you, and I'll join you here in a second. Okay, we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. After every round. Nice and steady. What I'm working on, what you can focus on is balance on your feet. Finding myself a little all over the place. It's giving me something to think about here. And there we go. 5 at a time. Don't think about what it feels like, just chip away. And there you go. Five at a time, we'll get there. 5 at a time. Everything is, we got 215. Hang in there. $0.90.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. 45 seconds, hang in there. through it. Oh, there we go. Oh my gosh. Good job, y'all. Catch your breath. We got a cool down. I'll do it with you. Give you a little bit of time here to catch your breath. First part, you don't even need to be all the way recovered. So just kind of take a couple minutes. You are going to need your ruck. So have that close or handy. If you did this workout with a dumbbell or a kettlebell, you can use that same thing. So you might have noticed I had gloves on. These are just mechanics, and they're the vented gloves. I don't wear gloves when I use a barbell, dumbbell, kettlebell. I'll wear gloves when I'm doing bar muscle ups, just because there's so much rotation on the bar and it protects the middle of my hand. But I do wear gloves almost every time I use a sandbag or ruck, just because the fabric, these are such awesome bags and stuff, but because the handles aren't metal, they move around a little bit and get a little pinchy on the skin. So especially if you're kind of notice that from this workout, the brand that I like, just called Mechanics, and these are just, I don't know what type they are. I think they're just the vented type, and it gives just, they're lightweight, just enough protection to stop that. Makes worrying about your hands just a non-factor in these things. Okay, so we're just gonna take your ruck, just like we kind of did in the warm-up. We're gonna focus on ankles just a little bit here. So you can either choose to squat down, or you can kind of sit in a lunge position like this. I'm gonna go ahead and squat. And all you're gonna do is pick that ruck up, put the weight right on top of your knee, and then pay attention to that foot. You wanna keep that ankle stacked, toes and heel on the ground. And I'm just gonna squat down here in my squat position, and I'm just gonna let that weight drive my knee forward. What I'm really trying to focus on is that foot bone needs to track backwards. So what I'm really trying to pay attention to here is I don't let my ankle cave in. I don't do anything funky down here. I'm not letting my heel come up. I'm just, and I can get reps in, or I'm just gonna spend time just letting that weight try and help that ankle go through a full range. We can even do a little P&F stretching here, which means flex. What are you flexing? Really anything that's gonna drive your knee forward. So we'll flex, really trying to let that knee go forward, feel the full foot. That's so key here. Flex, 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 relax. And when you relax, we're just gonna try and let that weight do its work there. Okay, we're just gonna do a few rounds of this. So let's flex again, flex, and really try and drive that shin forward, but perfectly flat foot on the ground. And then we're gonna relax and try and just ease in, relax into that new range we might have gotten from pulling ourselves into it. So one last time, flex. I like to imagine that heel going back and down, and then we're gonna relax. Just let that kind of stretch a little bit here. Okay, let's go to the other side. Just move that weight over. Same thing, make sure that foot is just solid on the ground. We're gonna start just by having you check in and make sure that it's solid. Make sure your heel's on the ground. Feel all your toes. We don't want the ankle caving in. Nothing weird. Relax, breathe as much as you can. I know I'm still cooling down from this one. All right, let's go ahead and flex. Try and get as much ankle range as possible, but no change in weight or anything on your foot. Then relax. Try and just lean into that, but feel that weight go into your heels still. Relax, flex. Let's really see if we can let it drive forward. Relax. See if we can just use that weight to lean into it. Okay, one more. Flex. Feel that full foot, toes and heel. Relax. All right, so for a cool down, this is gonna be pretty straightforward and easy. We're just gonna do 3 rounds, 3 reps. You can do it with me here. We're gonna do strict press with the ruck, 3 on each arm, really just focusing on, I know I got sloppy, especially one-sided, so I'm gonna make sure that I'm perfectly straight. Everything's flexed, I got even weight on my feet. I just have good positions up there. So I'm just gonna 3 strict press on each side, and then we're gonna do 3 stiff-legged deadlifts. Again, just kind of getting in the glutes and the hamstrings a little bit, feeling weight even on my feet. So you can do it with me. I'm gonna do 3 rounds here, just nice and slow. Let's go ahead and pick that ruck up. Okay, we're just gonna get a tight press. I'm gonna give it a pause so I can check in on everything. That's 1. Come back down. Press up. Okay, come back down. Press up. So I'm looking for even weight, belly button drawn in, butt cheeks squeezed. Let's go to the other side. Press. Pause up overhead. Check in. There we go. Check in. All right. Then I'm just gonna grab the ruck by its ends here, like turn sideways. I'm not gonna go perfectly straight legs, but I'm gonna bend over. Just go to that end range and then come back up. Same thing, I'm gonna get a little bit of a pause. I'm making sure my belly button's still drawn in to my spine, and I'm making sure I'm not shifting my weight back to my heels, and I'm just staying on my full foot. Okay, that's 1 round. I know it's kind of annoying, but it's gonna be really, really good for you. I'm gonna do 2 more rounds of this. Let's go back to the presses. I'm gonna give it a little less of a pause. Now, as I check in, I'm just making sure they're perfect. If I feel like they're getting sloppy, I'm gonna give it more of a pause. Go to that left side. Gosh. Felt myself rotating on that one, so give that one a little more of a pause. Back to 3 stiff-legged deadlifts. How low you go doesn't matter as long as it's your end range. Okay, we're gonna do 1 more round of this last one, so hang in there with me. Check in, feel the feet. There we go. Almost there. That was a better one for me, finally. That left side gives me trouble. Okay. Last ones, let's make these look good. Then we'll call it a day. Feel your feet, make sure that belly button is drawn in the whole way. All right, nice job today. Thanks for joining me. That one was nasty. Hope you hung in there, did what you could, made it look good. I'll see y'all next time.